Hello, everybody. I'm sorry for that. My internet was shortly freezing. So this is Nicole with the Good Life Refuge, and I have my little co-pilot Baba here, just for the giggles. And then we have Sarah here. Sarah will give us an introduction today about what should be on your plate when you're replacing a meal with a plant-based meal. And I'm really interested to hear what Sarah is telling us today. And yeah, I would say with that, I just give the word over to Sarah. I'm really excited to have you all here and about the series. So let's get started.
Okay. Hi, everyone. As Nicole mentioned, my name is Sarah, and I am based in Denver. I am a vegan health and lifestyle coach. I am also a plant-based chef, and I'm really excited to do this, present this series of classes with you. We're going to be, this is our compassionate cooking series, and I will be presenting 5 different modules, basically. And then the last class we'll have is with Ariana, and she is a nutritionist, and she's going to be doing some Q&A and some frequently asked questions, or answering some frequently asked questions, and just diving deeper into the nutrition components of a plant-based diet. The reason we're hosting this series of classes is because we want you to be successful. We want you to have the tools that you need to have a compassionate diet. I was vegetarian for a long time, and I went vegan about 10 years ago, and I love it. I feel great, and it's just the best diet for me. And it's the best diet for disease prevention, living an eco-friendly lifestyle, and then also for the animals as well. So, and we are here with Good Life, and thank you so much, Nicole, for having us. Good Life is such an amazing sanctuary, and I love going up there. Once we get out of COVID and are able to make visits, please go up and see her. It's such a beautiful place. The animals are wonderful, and they're so well taken care of. So I have a lot of ground to cover in just 15, 20 minutes, so I'm going to get into it. But I just like to tell people, first of all, when I start out doing this presentation, that these are the 2 books that have been the most helpful for me. These are both written by Jenny Messina, and Jenny is a registered dietitian, and she is just really fantastic. She is so brilliant, and she is just such a wonderful wealth of knowledge. So this one is obviously for women, and this has some recipes that JL Fields, who is a Colorado-based vegan lifestyle coach and chef as well, she added some fantastic recipes to this. And then this one is written by Vegan for Life, is written by co-authored by Jack Norris. And Jack Norris started Vegan Outreach. They are both full of fun information. They're full of tips. They are full of everything that you need to thrive on a plant-based diet. So I highly recommend either of these books. You can get these books, either of them, used on Amazon, and you can also pick them up at the library. And I do want to give a little shout out to the Colorado Public Library System. We have a really fantastic library system, and we can just check out so many fantastic books. They do interlibrary loan. I have picked up cookbooks. I've picked up health information, self-care, art books. I mean, we just have a fantastic library system. So I highly recommend, if you don't already know about the library system, it's a good resource if you're trying to add more plant-based options and looking for recipes, especially if you have a cookbook that you might not know that you're going to like, but you want to preview it, see if the library has it. And like I said, they'll do interlibrary loan as well. So I have a few slides that I'm going to present now. And as I mentioned, my name is Sarah Easton. We're going to talk about the plant plate, and I'm going to give you some basic steps on how to thrive on a plant-based diet. Nicole, can you see this just fine?
Yes, I can.
Okay, excellent. So this is, and this plant plate comes from this book that I mentioned, Vegan for Her. And I love this plant plate because it has been the thing that has been the most helpful for me. As I mentioned, I was vegetarian for a long time and I went vegan just a few years ago. And when I saw this plant plate and read this book, I really realized that there were some things that I am lacking and there were some things that I needed to pay particular attention to. And this plant plate, I keep it handy. I refer to it often. I refer to it when I'm doing recipe creation or meal planning. I love this. It's a go-to. There's fun images. It's just a very easy thing to refer to. And there's a lot of different plant plates out there that you can use, but this is just one that is the most successful for me. Nicole let me know that one we couldn't really see very well, so I blew this up, and I hope you guys can see this a little bit more clearly. But I just kind of want to give you the basic rundown of some things that you need to consider with this plant plate. And not all vegans realize that. I'm going to direct you to the legumes section. We need to get 3 or more servings of legumes a day. And the reason why that is so important is that legumes provide the essential amino acid lysine. And lysine, all the essential amino acids are critical. And we really want to be sure that we are getting all of the nutrients that we need. And lysine is a really important one. You can't obtain them from any of the other plant groups. So you really want to focus on getting those legumes. And legumes can be obtained, or beans, obvious, are legumes. You probably all know what the different beans. There are white beans, there are black beans, there are garbanzo beans. Lentils also fall into that category. There are tons of delicious beans out there. And veggie burgers also fall into this category. Even some of the processed, like the Beyond or the Impossible, those can count as a legume as well. And those will get you your essential amino acids. So peanut butter is also in the legume category, soy milk, tofu, soy nuts, and also quinoa. So when I did not know that before I saw this and plant plate and read this book, but we want to be sure that we are getting those 3 servings, any of those ways. And then also nuts and seeds are a pretty important one. You want to ensure you're getting flax seeds, chia seeds, mix up your nuts, sesame seeds, almonds, cashews, as many nuts as you like. And then we all know fruits and vegetables. Eat as many fruits and vegetables as you can. The other thing I like to direct people's attention to is the calcium component, the outer ring of this plate. Everybody needs a good amount of calcium. And it's really, when you get it from plant-based sources, it's an excellent way to obtain healthy calcium. As you will see over in the vegetable section, there are, the way you get that calcium is through greens. And I like a lot of these greens, but sometimes it's not that easy to get a lot of greens into your diet. Some people are great at this. Some people will just eat a ton of collards and bok choy and broccoli, but it's a little bit challenging personally for me. So I just always either ensure when I'm not eating a lot of greens, I eat tofu, tempeh, some of the fortified milks, and then also you want to eat almond butter or tahini. You can eat almond butter with a piece of fruit or tahini on toast. And then fortified orange juice will also give you some calcium. And then figs, I keep dried figs in my cupboard. So those are probably the 2 most important items, the legumes, and just really be sure that you're eating those greens and those calcium-containing vegetables. As we grow older, the ability for us to obtain these vitamins and minerals kind of depletes, and the storage of our vitamins and minerals kind of goes down. So we really need to be conscientious of eating the right foods, especially as we age. So, and everybody knows what grains and starches are. Just be sure you're getting 4 servings of those, whether it's gluten-free or whole wheat. There's tons of grains that we can be eating through breads, quinoa, rices, things of that nature. And then, like I mentioned, we're going to have a discussion at the end of this where we go into a little bit more detail about supplementation. But basically, this is part of the plant plate, but this is just a reminder that we want to be getting some healthy vitamin D. We want to be going outside. I think probably everyone in North America is pretty depleted in vitamin D just because we sit inside so much now. I went and had some comprehensive blood work done a few years ago, and I was very low in vitamin D and also EPA and DHA. I had been taking a multivitamin. I thought I was good, but that test indicated that I really need to supplement in addition to my multivitamin with vitamin D and DHA and EPA. I had been eating a lot of nuts and seeds, and I thought it was going to be good, but nuts and seeds only provide the ALA omegas. I can't say the word. Alpha linoleic acid, I think is what is provided in chia and flaxseed. But you want to have a supplement, DHA and EPA, because DHA and EPA is critical for brain health. And you can get a vegan omega supplement or DHA and EPA supplement, and it's made with algae. And B12, I was actually fine with my B12 levels, but it is good if you're eating a plant-based diet. It's really good for you to supplement B12. And then also iodine is an important mineral for us to be getting. I personally eat seaweed snacks and seaweed salad, and that's where I get iodine from. But just keep in mind, try to get iodine, and you can also use iodized salt as well. So like I said, these two books go into more of the nutrition concerns and then also supplementation as well. And then we'll cover that in a bit more detail. But I do want to, I always recommend people get their blood work done as well, just to see where they stand and some of the vitamins that they need to be taken. And you guys can download this plant plate from Vegan for Her. And again, that was that book is written by Jenny Messina, and it gives reference for that illustrator. And this is just a fun thing that I wanted to throw in here, because these are the focus of my diet, basically. I eat what's known as G-BOMBs. I eat these G-BOMBs just because I love them. These are the things that my diet just focuses on. G-BOMBs are greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. And this phrase, the G-BOMB phrase, was coined by Dr. Furman, who is a plant-based doctor, and he's fantastic. And he recommends these G-BOMBs because they have been shown to have the greatest disease prevention. They prevent a host of cancers. They're also help prevent Alzheimer's disease. And they're just really if you're really concerned about eating healthy, those are the vegetables and fruits that I would focus on. Also, another really important thing to consider when you're planning your diets is to be sure your meals are nutritionally balanced, and you want to ensure that these are balanced for satiety, blood sugar stability, and sustained energy. And a lot of people don't really understand what nutritionally balancing your meals that means. But basically, you want to be sure that as many meals as you have, they have three components, and those components are fiber, fat, and protein. And what this is so important is because these meals will digest a lot slower, and they will give you that sustained energy. So you can, if you're an athlete, you can, ride your bike longer, or if you work really hard, or if you even work at a desk, you have more energy longer. If you're just eating like junk processed foods, your blood sugar is going to kind of peak and drop, peak and drop, peak and drop. And that obviously is not good for our energy levels. But if you eat those nutritionally balanced meals as often as possible, then you will have that blood sugar stability throughout the day. And also another reason why nutritionally balanced foods are important, and the blood sugar sustainability, is that when we have those spikes, that can also lead to disease further on down the road. So just some things to keep in mind. And if you have those 3 components, you will be much more successful on your plant-based diet. And another really, one of my favorite tips is don't see this as a lifestyle change. See this as you're improving your healthy lifestyle. When a lot of times when people go on diets, they'll have all these restrictions and they won't be successful. People will only be eating like celery or carrots and apples. But what we want to do so you sustain, so you can have long-term success, is see that it's a change in your lifestyle, and see all of the things that you're adding in, all of the delicious foods that you're adding into your diet, all of the great things that you can discover, like all of the different seeds or all of the different fruits and vegetables. There are amazing vegan foods out there. Some of the restaurants are just preparing some really, really cool stuff. And there's companies coming out all the time like Impossible, Beyond. I even had a plant-based steak this last weekend. And there's just so many cool things and so many exciting things that we can discover. So really focus on crowding out the processed ingredients and the animal products, and don't see that you're missing out on these other things. Just see that you can add all these other beautiful, delicious foods in, and you will really have an optimistic view of this lifestyle change.
May I add something to that, Sarah? So what really helped me was when you try to do it all at once, that can be totally overwhelming.
Yeah.
Just start one day a week.
Very true.
And just try new recipes. I was so psyched when I tried all these new recipes. I'm a fairly new vegan. I started maybe 5 years ago to make that switch, and we made it slowly, one meal at a time, and just tackling one thing at a time, so you're not getting overwhelmed.
That is a very good point.
One day, and once you have that down and you want to continue, which we'll hope to, then add another day until you're where you're at, and then you can tackle other areas, because it is a lifestyle which doesn't just necessarily ends with the food we put on our plate, but that's a really big starting point. It goes into further down the road of what we're wearing, what material we have in the household. But that's, don't worry about that. Just take it one step at a time and go slow, make a fantastic meal.
Yep.
Enjoy it. And then, however you feel about it, the next step comes along.
Yes, that is a really good point. And don't be judgmental with yourself, and don't be hard on yourself if you trip up. Yeah, just definitely find some easy recipes that you enjoy, and just start out like one meal or one day a week, doing a meatless Monday, or just go slow, and don't let people give you a hard time, and just be very gentle with yourself, for sure. So, and then the last little piece of this I just want to briefly touch on is meal planning. And the reason I wanted to include this is because I love meal planning. I don't always get to do it, but when I have a meal plan, I just feel so much better throughout the week. And a lot of people say it's nice to not have to go to the refrigerator at 5 o'clock at night and be like, well, what am I going to cook tonight? You already have your plan. You already have everything set up if you create a meal plan. And I blew this up a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see this. But basically, this meal plan, you can download some of these, or you can also make it your own. Just pick out a few recipes that you really enjoy and pop them in here. And the other great thing about meal planning is that you save money, you eliminate or you minimize your food waste, and you're also eating really healthy throughout the week. And this is also if you have kids, this is also a really fun thing to do with the whole family. It's really fun to have kids find recipes that they enjoy and pop them in here. And it's also fun to have your kids do some of these tasks. If your kids are older, maybe they could, prepare several of the harder ingredients, or they can just chop up some of the vegetables. But it's a really good thing. It's a good thing for the family to enjoy. And like I said, I always feel so much better when I follow a meal plan. The other good benefit of meal planning is that once you have like 5 of these, if you make them yourselves, once you have 5 of these and you've added some of your favorite recipes, then you just grab them and go to the grocery store. You don't have to, they save you a lot of time. I mean, they take a little bit of time to create up front, but then in the long term, they save you a lot of time. So as you can see, she just come up with some of her favorite recipes. And this is from chriscarr.com. And Chris Carr is another health coach that's really fantastic. You can download this from her website. And then she also has some blank ones that help you do it yourself. Or you can just even make this in a Word document. So you just obviously add what you want to cook throughout the week, and then you'll see that she has some leftovers that she eats for lunch. And then a lot of these meal plans will also, or these meal planning tools will also, they'll come up with the shopping list, and then they'll also have some instructions, and they'll have like a timeline, so you know exactly what you need to do, like on a Sunday, you know what you need to do Monday night. They just help you plan out your whole week. So they're really a time saver. And then once that you have, all of that planned, you can go have fun. You can do the stuff that you really enjoy. So these are just some fun tips that Chris Carr includes. Dress up leftovers. There are some, when you transition to a vegan diet, there are some tips. When I finally went vegan, I worked with a coach, and that's kind of why I wanted to become one myself, is because it's really helpful to have someone just coach you along and offer some tips. So anyway, like I mentioned, you just prep stuff in advance, prep like your grains, chop up your vegetables. And then she also recommends to keep snacks on handy as well. And then finally, you'll see the shopping list. And like I said, what you do is you use these ingredients in multiple recipes, and it saves your food waste, and it also saves you money, because you're really thinking about the meals that you can use these ingredients in several times, and you really focus on getting that produce in there, getting those beans in there as well. And so when you're doing your meal planning and looking for recipes, just be sure that you are referring to that plant plate, and you're getting those different servings, those beans, those calcium-rich vegetables, adding those blueberries or those strawberries, whatever berries that you like. So, and then I just want to end by letting you guys know a couple places that you can get meal plans. And like I said, I just wanted to share this because meal planning is it's fun for me. And like I said, I have a lot of success when I do meal plans. So health coaches, I have a few, and this actually just reminded me that I needed to make a few more. So health coaches can help you with meal planning. And then Chris Carr, like I mentioned, she has some great recipes on her website and resources on her website for meal planning. Forks Over Knives has a tool that you can, it's like a subscription service, and they will give you the recipes, and they'll also provide you with a shopping list. And then That Clean Life is one of my favorites as well. They are also a subscription service, and they will give you the recipes, they'll give you the shopping list, and they will give you the timeline of things to do throughout the week. So that's all I wanted to cover for today. I just mostly wanted to familiarize everyone with the plant plate. And then the next few weeks, we're going to get into the fun stuff. We're going to get into the cooking, and we'll go into a little bit more detail about some of the fruits and the vegetables. And also we really want you guys to be successful, like I mentioned. And so we will have some fun, easy tips, like Nicole mentioned, just ways that we can make this start you guys out easy. Next week, I'm going to be covering breakfast, and we've got some really fun toasts that we're going to do, and a breakfast sweet potato, and then we'll move on to lunches, easy dinners, and then also sweets and snacks as well, healthy sweets and snacks. So we will be going live on Facebook August 14th at 10 a.m., And if you have any questions for us, you can reach out to me on my website. I'm trying to promote my website because it just went live. We updated it, and I've got some fun information on there, as well as recipes and just local things that I love, local products that I love. And also, if you have any questions, reach out to me, or if you have anything that you'd like us to cover, reach out to me, or you can also reach out to Nicole as well.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for your time and this cool presentation. I sure learned a little bit more because I guess I'm lacking in some of the legumes for sure.
Yeah.
And the green.
I was too, and that's why I wanted to share that, because we want people to be successful and have, do this for the long haul, because it's so good for your health, number one, but it's also really good for the animals as well. So,
and just from my side, what I love doing now is I kind of veganize my favorite dishes, and I just Google a recipe of whatever vegan lasagna, and I kind of develop my own recipe by fine-tuning some of the things. But if you want to try some stuff that you bake, and it has eggs in it and butter, these are really easy replacements because there's so many plant-based butters out there that you can easily find at the grocery store for baking. And then, if you go with an egg replacement, that's really super easy, and it usually foolproof in regards that it works. So, I've tried with flaxseed and all that other fun stuff, which works too. Not as great at the egg replacer. Flaxseed is for sure healthier.
Yeah,
and
flaxseed doesn't work in everything, but
yeah. So, but there's tons of stuff you can do. Feel free to reach out to us. We're working on our website to get some more of the things implemented that we're doing right now. You can find a recording of this on our YouTube channel at Good Life Refuge. So with that, we're a little bit over our time, but everybody who knows me knows I talk too much in general. So with that, we're looking forward for August 14th. We'll schedule the Facebook Live pretty much about now. So you can, hook yourself up and click on that. You get a confirmation and a reminder. And with that, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Please spread the word about this. It's free. It should be fun. I'm already hungry thinking about Sarah's recipes. So yeah, let your friends know there's good stuff coming out of this. And yeah, with that, we wish you a wonderful weekend. Thank you again, Sarah, for giving us this great information. And yeah, we hope to see you soon. Have a good time. Thank you. Bye-bye.